Ishwaran ji is going to be talking to us on the subject, psychology of emotions. There'll be a 45-minute talk followed by 15 minutes of Q&A, and that will be moderated by Shri Ishwaran ji himself. You will be muted through the talk, but feel free to post your questions on the chat function, and Shri Ishwaran ji will go through them one by one. If you'd rather ask your question, you can do that as well after the chat questions are over. And thank you so much, Shri Ishwaran ji, for joining us. We know you have another webinar coming up shortly, but thank you so much for being with us today at 5:30. And we look forward to your talk today. So may I invite you to please take the mic.
Thank you. The topic we have is psychology of emotions. There is no necessity for us to explain the importance of emotions in our life. There's no big doubt we have on that, because it has an influence, it has a say in every aspect of life, be it your perceptions, be it your actions, your relationships, your decisions. Take any dimension of your life, in every aspect this emotion plays a vital role. Now the question comes to us is, what is the nature of that emotion? What is it? And from where it comes? How are we to deal with emotions? Today, most of us experience the emotions that we have is more of our weakness rather than strength. You see, like people say, anger management. There's a lot of discussion we have about anger management today. Why? Because you see, because of anger, you have suffered a lot. You have suffered financial, you have suffered physical, you have suffered your relationships. So there is a lot of problems you are encountering because of anger. Therefore, you wanted to manage anger. Same way, strangely, you do experience when you trust somebody also. Sir, I've been so genuine. I helped this fellow to come up in life. And I am the one fellow was telling me a few years back, sir, can you know the tragedy of my work? I say, what? I am the one who gave the appointment letter to him. I did the interview. I selected that fellow. He came into the company because of me. And in 6 to 8 months time, that fellow gave him the pink slip and said, get out of the company, he says. Now, we say, therefore we say what? Don't trust anybody. Don't believe anyone. The first advice given to every retirement person is what? Don't give all your retirement benefits to your son. Keep the house in your name. Don't transfer the house in your son's name. Why? Otherwise, your son will throw you out. If not your son, definitely the better half will throw you out. Therefore, what? Now, today, you see, you have faith on somebody, you trust someone, there is problem. You love someone, there is problem. You feel jealous, there is problem. Now, any sort of emotion that we experience in life, and if you trace back all your problems in life, somewhere down the line you will see a great hand of this emotion playing behind it. There is a share. Now the question comes to all of us is, sir, if emotions is such a problem in life, therefore one group of people decided to do what? They don't have any emotions. That's where we have invented a new terminology called, we are all professionals. What do you mean by professional? It's a professional relationship. Means what? There is no emotional transaction between you and me. It is purely what? You do work, I do this. After that, people call and ask, how is our service? One fellow called and asked me, sir, can you rate our service? I said, when did you do service first of all? He said, no, we did not. I said, who told that is service? That's a professional relationship. I needed a job from you. You charged me for that. I paid you. Period. Purely transactional. That's how this Facebook, Instagram, relationships were built over gadgets, not face to face. Why? Because in the gadget you have that is why I said everyone should keep the video on. Exactly. Why? Suddenly you switch off the video, we don't have that problem at all actually. I can do anything. You see that? And still I will be receiving. I said, I can also do the same thing, no? If that is the case, I can put a tape recorder. There are recorded classes of mine available. For the last about 18 years of my recordings were available. Audio recording which runs to about easily about 1,000 hours recording we have. We can just play that and you listen. I also walk, you also walk. I can do my job, you can do your job, sir. Now here what happens, sir? Suddenly there's a difference. Emotions. The emotions that we experience, is that strength or weakness? We love to have emotions as a strength. We lecture, that's the strength of human. But your experience shows the other way around. Your experience says, no, emotions doesn't look like strength to my life. At the same time, can I do away with it? That is also not possible. You can't have emotion, nor can you do away with emotions. If you have emotions, stressful life. Do away with emotions, boring life, mechanical life. Now you can't afford to live either case. Therefore, we need to study as to how do you deal with it, sir. Now there are a few basic things we need to understand. In the discussion of emotions, there are a couple of things we need to understand. First one, there's no hierarchy here. I'm just giving 1, 2, 3. Okay. The first dimension is emotions are experienced by us in one place, understood in another place. Emotions are felt at the level of the mind. Manas. It is the buddhi that understands the emotions. So, experiencing emotion is different from expressing that emotion and transacting with emotion. This is the basic thing we need to understand. In any emotion, there are two aspects to it. One dimension of emotion is the feeling part. Another dimension of emotion is the expression part. One is the mother feels the love for the child. Okay. It is quite another how that mother expresses that love to the child. That's what we see, two kids sit and talk. My mother loves me so much, it says. One child is telling the other child. The way it says so much itself, we understand how deep it is. Right. Now the other child asks this one, how do you say that? You know why I'm saying? Because whatever I ask, my mother gives me. Therefore, my mother loves me so much. Imagine the mother sitting in the next room, overhearing the conversation. The mother will be telling herself what? Hey, beta, my love is much more than what you have understood, isn't it? Whether it is love or any time you get angry, there are two things that are happening there. One is the inner feeling of anger. Another one is the expression of anger. How you express anger. See, that's where you see a lot of variations. There are people who will get angry and they start crying. Have you seen? Usually kids do that. That's why children get angry. It is beautiful to see. I love that. Whenever I see a child, first thing I do is, instigate them to get angry. And it's amazing to see. And they get so angry and they start crying. One group. There's another group of people, when they get angry, they go silent. They don't talk. Another group of people, will start throwing things, breaking things. Another group of people will start abusive words, start shouting and use, vulgar languaging and all those things. Some of them can even go to the extent of hitting also. Depends on who is the other party. Okay. Hitting means the fellow you will never see how much ever I get angry with Mike Tyson, I will never go and hit him. I can get angry with him, but I will never go and hit Mike Tyson. Why? That's what we see. There are people who say, whenever he gets angry, he will start hitting people, sir. He will not hit everyone. He will hit only people who don't hit him back, who cannot hit him back. See, that anger, how you express that anger is different from how much you feel that anger. Remember these two things first. Without understanding there are two dimensions to emotions, you can never deal with it. Now, the feeling part of the emotion belongs to the domain called mind. The expression part should go to buddhi, intellect, thinking. Point number one. Now, when it comes to this feeling dimension, the mind who actually generates that emotion, who actually feels the emotion, he doesn't understand there is good emotion, bad emotion, productive, unproductive, higher, lower, positive, negative, nothing. None of these distinctions will be understood by the mind. All this belongs to the domain of intellect. It is intellect that understands this is higher, this is lower, this is productive, this is unproductive, this is right, this is wrong, this is positive, negative. This belongs to the domain of intellect. Who is experiencing it? The mind is experiencing. He doesn't understand all that. Mind understands only one thing. Remember this. If you understand this, you will know how to deal with emotion. All that you require is only these 2 points. If you understand these 2 points, the entire discussion you can have in terms of, the huge jargon we use these days, emotional intelligence. I don't know how many of you have heard this. Nowadays, a lot of people talk about emotional. What is emotional intelligence, you ask? He says it's very difficult, sir. There is nothing difficult, man. That's all it is. There are 2 aspects to it. One is what? Feeling domain, expression domain. 2 different things there. 1. 2. The mind which is actually generating that emotion doesn't understand positive, negative and all that. He cannot, because it doesn't belong to that domain. It belongs to the domain of intellect, buddhi, not manas. So, how much ever you tell that mind, generate good emotions, positive emotions, now he will never understand. What are you talking? It's like suddenly if I start talking in Arabic, I don't know how many of you will understand. Forget about Arabic. Madras Tamil, if I start talking, you will not follow. Some of you may say, you know Tamil also. If I start talking Madras Tamil, it will be difficult for people to follow. Why? The language itself you cannot understand. Similarly, the mind who is actually feeling that emotion cannot understand the language of positive, negative, good, bad, right, wrong, appropriate, inappropriate, nothing. Then what he understands only one thing. His understanding is intensity. Mind's domain is only intensity. Any emotion that is experienced by you intensely, it starts feeling it more and more. Anything, it doesn't matter what it is. Your mind will not bother about all that things. Now, once you understand this, we derive so many points out of it. That is the advantage of Vedanta. See, you study Vedanta, we get everything. Hauser, this is all it is. You understand the basic, you can derive everything out of it. There's no problem. Very easy after that. See, Vedanta says, look here, man, mind cannot understand all this. It understands only which one you are feeling more intensely. Think carefully. In your life, do you feel intensity of anger more versus faith, bhakti, devotion, gratitude, love, kindness, compassion? How intensely you feel your frustrations, your irritations? When you are angry, have you observed a person who is angry? You can't observe when you are angry. At least you should be able to observe the person who is angry. You see them, whole system participates. Every fiber of the system is reverberating with that emotion. Whereas when a person says, I am loving, it's a very simple thing. A lot of people come to me, for this counseling and all those things, which I don't encourage, but still, people come. They come, they talk about their problems. The pain that they have experienced about 25 years back, when they are narrating that instant today, the tears starts trickling automatic. Whereas when I ask them to narrate the happiest moment of their life, how do you narrate it? As a matter of fact, try this. Look into your own self. Now, when you are discussing, it's only a memory. What happened about 25 years back? That family told that to me that day. This is what happened, that day. When I was in demand of some help, I asked this guy. He refused. You know that? As he was speaking, the fellow collapses. Whereas, when you talk about happiness, what is it? A new friend gets introduced to you versus you lose a friend. Which one you talk about? Where there is more intensely you feel. Now, the moment you tell that mind, I am feeling more intensely this set of emotions, what that mind starts doing is, that's what you want. Therefore, it starts feeling that more and more. It will go on feeling the same thing. Why? Because that's the repetition. Mind is just going on repeating the same thing. Wherever you feel intense, it will repeat. Because mind is a mechanism. It's a mechanical device. Repeating. It will go on saying the same thing. Repeat, repeat, repeat is the mind. Now, if you were to tell that mind, I am going to give intensity to the emotions which are not productive, according to me, my mind will not understand that. The mind will feel what? Oh, you're feeling that intensely. No, therefore, what I'm going to do? Repeat, repeat, repeat. More the repetition, what happens? More the intensity, more the repetition. More the intensity, more the repetition. Over a period of time, your mind, you can put that mind in any situation. Somehow it will create a culture in you to feel that emotion. You can't change after that. After that, it is impossible to change that mind. That's why when people come, this, counseling and all that, the counselor understands the problem of the client the very first day. But the client will understand and come out of it after 15 years. What is the difference? Why is it taking 15 years for that? You mean to say a counselor is more intelligent? No. In fact, this fellow is far intelligent than the counselor. Then what is it, sir? That intensity that I have given to it. Now we go to this question of what is that intensity, how you go, repetition. How it becomes more intense? Repeating. Every time you repeat, you are adding more energy to it. You are adding more value to it. You are giving more importance to it. You are giving extra value to it. Extra attention is given. When I say energy, don't start thinking, some vibration will come and all that. Nothing of that is there. Okay. What all that it means is you are giving extra attention to it. To anything you give extra attention, that starts growing. That's all. Isn't it? You give attention to business grows. You give attention to your social circle grows. You give attention to your family relationship grows. If you don't give attention, then what happens? Slow decay. That's about it. Slowly it will disappear. That's all. Same way works here. So emotions, you understand these 2 points. Okay. Then comes the behavioral pattern of any emotion. Right. Third point. Behavioral pattern. What is the pattern of emotions there? Every emotion behaves exactly like waves. No matter whether it is positive or I'll just explain what is positive emotion, what is negative emotion, and how do you know? We'll just come back to it. Now, since I started this, we will go here first. Now, emotion behaves exactly like waves. You stand in the shore, you see a wave develops. Bigger, and come lashes on the shore. And then, if you see, the wave stays and lingers on the shore for a while. And then naturally recedes back, goes back. Then next emotion gallops. Just galloping. It just, adds on, becomes bigger, and hits. Then what happens there? It stays there for a while and then goes back. No matter how big the wave is, it will go back. Even tsunami wave will go back. The water is not going back because of our buildings. Because we have put up a building in those places, therefore the water did not go back. Otherwise, every wave, what is the law, sir? Law is this. Every wave has these 3 stages. 3 states. It works. Generated, galloping stage, lingering stage, receding stage. Whether you have anger, you have jealousy, you have love, you have compassion, what you name it. Every emotion works the same pattern. There is no difference. So how do you deal with any emotion, sir? Depending on the size of the wave, all that you have to do is what? Just wait. That's where all this horoscope fellows score out of you. You go to any horoscope person, they say what? 3 மாசம். Next 3 months. That's all. Once that graha changes, things. Now what is he doing? 75% of it is what, sir? Is just buying time. You see, this is what that fellow does. It's the same thing your therapist also will do. Don't think therapist is doing anything different. Every one of them buy time. For what? When you buy, that's what people say, time heals. You say, what is time healing? Time has no other job to do or what? To come and to apply balm to you and heal you. Nothing of that. Naturally, what happens, sir? It goes back. You see, when it goes back, you feel what? Appa. The tragedy is what? You feel it is gone. No. It is gone back only to come again. It goes back only to come again. It goes back only to come again. This is the pattern of emotions. Remember the pattern. So remember the principle and the pattern. Now comes this, sir. Now, if mind is not going to understand what is positive, negative, and all those things, how will I know which to be promoted, which not to be promoted? I have a feeling. I have to decide, should I entertain that or not? For which I have to decide what is the quality of it, the nature of that emotion. I have to decide whether it is good for me or bad for me. I have to decide that. Now, there are very many ways of identifying it. I'll give you 2. Okay. How do you identify? When an emotion gushes out in you, how will you know whether it is positive or negative? Okay. Principle number 1 is, in any emotional dealings, there are 2 parties involved always. One is the giver of emotion, another one is the receiver of emotion. When I get angry, I am throwing out anger, and my wife is a receiver. Usually husband throws anger only at wife. It's the same, vice versa also. Happens. My wife doesn't throw anger at me. She throws, all the vessels at me. That's all. He asked me, you are very athletic. I said, practice. Yeah, diving catch we do in the slip. I'm just joking. She is very good. Okay. I get angry and I throw my anger at her. So I am the giver of that emotion and she is the receiver. Right. Sometimes, my wife loves me. I say, she is giving love and I am receiving love. Apply the rule. The rule is this. In any emotional transaction, both the parties were to be cherishing that it's positive. The one who is giving should enjoy. Also, the one who is receiving should enjoy. Take the case of forgiveness. When you forgive someone, the very forgiveness you enjoy. Isn't it? Similarly, when someone forgives you, how you feel? When you love someone, that love is enjoyable. You see that? When someone loves you, the very love that you are receiving is enjoyable. Take the contrary, anger. The one who is throwing anger is not enjoying it. You may ask me, how do you know Ishwaran? What is the proof of it, sir? Only one question I ask. If you are enjoying, you should continue to stay in that for a longer period of time. In anger, do you continue to stay longer? No. You want to vent it out quickly. You want to get out of anger quickly. Nobody's in the person who is getting angry doesn't enjoy that he is anger. Similarly, when someone shows tantrum at you, do you enjoy? No. Neither the giver nor the receiver enjoys. In any emotion, both the parties get agitated, negative. Any emotion, both the parties enjoy, positive. One. I'll give you one more indication. How you can identify whether an emotion is positive or negative. The moment you become aware or alert of that emotion, see what happens to that emotion. If the emotion were to shrink, if the emotion were to go and hide, if the emotion were to disappear, negative. The moment you become alert and aware of that emotion, if that emotion were to swell, grow, that's called positive. I repeat, in the light of alertness, awareness, consciousness, whatever word you want to use, you can use. I don't care. Okay. I'm just using the word alertness. The moment you become alert that this is the emotion I'm experiencing, see what happens to that emotion instantly. Immediately, it will try to hide. If it were to lose that intensity, we call it negative. The moment I become alert and that emotion gets bigger, it's called positive. Now apply these two rules to all the emotions that you are experiencing. Doesn't matter what it is, the emotion with which you can decide what to do with that emotion. Right. Now we come to the point of, sir, how are we to deal with that emotion? What am I to do with emotion, sir? Remember, I told you the rule. Rule is feeling is different, expression is different. In your life, all the problems that you get into is because you allow that feeling to express without the intervention of your thinking. Remember this. The expression of emotion has to be always under the guidance of your discriminative thinking, intellect. If the emotion itself were to decide the expression, I'll give an absurd example, okay, for you to understand the point. It's a very subtle idea. It needs a lot of explanation, but we don't have time to go into the detailed analysis of it. But remember this. Absurd example this is, okay. My daughter is being diagnosed. Example only, yeah, okay. A daughter is diagnosed with appendix, is going to burst, and I put her in the hospital, and I tell the doctor, look here, doctor, who loves my daughter more, you or me? I love my daughter more than you. For you, this is one more. To me, only daughter. Therefore, let me do the surgery. What will happen? You see that? The doctor has no emotions towards my daughter as much as the love that I have towards her. But still, surgery I cannot do. I should not do. It cannot be done. It is wrong. You understand the difference, no? The feeling is there. The concern is there. I am more worried when the surgery is going on. When these people ask me, can we go and have a cup of coffee and come? I can't say, yes, man, let's go and have coffee and come back. I'll be standing outside that theater, operation theater. I'm standing there waiting to see what had happened. It is not true. Okay. In my case, actually I went off. We'll go and have one coffee and come back. I called, people, go there. They were all asking me, my father was sick. Surgery was going on inside. We are having coffee there in the, terrace garden. They're like, how can you be so heartless? I said, see, if I stand next to that operation theater, is it going to make any difference to the doctor or is it going to make any difference to my dad? Now, this is where we get mixed up. You see that? Now, if I'm standing next to that door, waiting for the doctor to come out, I am a loving son, loving father. If I go for a cup of coffee and come back, what am I called? Now, you see the difference. Now, this is where we make a blunder. That's what happened to, you go to this case, you go to the Puranas. In Mahabharata, Dhritarashtra is born blind. Okay. He has never seen who is Duryodhana. Isn't it? Imagine, no. That's how you are supposed to read those books. You read Mahabharata, how you read it is like this. See, this fellow is born blind. He has never seen who is Duryodhana. Duryodhana has come. Duryodhana has gone. He is there. Now, somebody is telling him, he is hearing the sound, Duryodhana, Duryodhana, Duryodhana. That's all. All of you know, in our tradition, we don't keep touch. We don't touch people. You know that? We don't touch. So he has never got that opportunity to go on touching him, seeing him all the time. Nothing of that sort. Then what is this, sir? That emotional attachment that he had towards Duryodhana clouded his thinking completely. He could not understand, in spite of Krishna showing his Vishwarupa to this fellow and says, any chance you fellows have in front of me. Still that fellow says what? I will not. You see the extreme. And then you taper it down. This is how you deal with emotions. Now, this doesn't mean you dismiss emotions. I'll give you one more example. Because Bina keeps on saying, Ishwaran gives, very practical examples. Yeah, I learned it only through that. That's all. I don't know anything else. He keeps on saying, it's an easy example, Ishwaran. At least example you will remember. If you don't remember the concept, at least example you will remember. See, before you take any decision, execute any action, remember to do this. How you deal with emotions, sir. I'll give you 2 points for that again. For everything today, I'm giving two points. First one is, introduce it exactly like, when do you have curd rice? South Indian eating pattern. What is it, sir? Sambar. First thing what they'll do, sir, sambar they'll have. And then rasam. And then curd rice. Now, without curd rice, You can never satisfy a South Indian Brahmin. Not possible. You can take him to Italian restaurant also. He will ask for curd rice. He will go there and ask, hey, sambar sadar ka? That's called a South Indian Brahmin. He can't survive without it. Nothing right or wrong in that, please. That's what they are. That's all it is. Nothing great about it, please. It's just a habit we have formed. That's all. Now, remember like that. This desserts, when do you have? You don't start your meal with a dessert. You conclude with it. Just before completing your meal, you just have a little. You're supposed to have a little only. Yeah? Now, there are people who have dessert itself as main course. If I go for wedding, I start reverse always. I start from desserts, conclude with soup. That's why I come, because of easy access. By that time, because the whole crowd will stand here. Dessert section will be empty. You go there and have slowly, settle down with soup. Then some expert told me, hey, that's the right way to eat, Ishwaran. How do you know that? I said, I don't know all those things, man. I went based on the principle. Wherever crowd is, don't go there. That's the rule. Nobody is there, you go there. Like that. How do you do, sir? Dessert, like when? Just before, execution of action, just before taking the decision, introduce that emotion. How much, sir? Not the whole thing. Like a pickle. In a bowl of curd rice, you just add a little pickle to it, isn't it? Even if you are from Andhra, you will not have the other way around. Not a bowl of pickle and 1 spoon of curd rice in that. No. Bowl of curd rice and a spoon of pickle. It's tasty. You see that? Emotion should be used like that. Emotion should be used to that portion. Just before deciding, introduce how much, sir? Little like pickle. One. Second aspect is how you deal with emotions, sir. Second dimension is Birbal equation. How do you shorten the line? Don't touch it. Don't try to work with your negative emotions. Don't try to handle them. Forget it. Start promoting the thing what you want to promote. Don't work on your weaknesses. That's what I keep telling people. Never work on your weaknesses. Rajinikanth has weaknesses. Did he bother? He cannot act. You know that? Rajinikanth acting, versatility, he doesn't have. But he has one strength. What he does, sir? Just worked on his strength. He worked on his strength. He worked on the strength. The lion in the jungle works on the strength of it. It has weaknesses. It doesn't bother. The cheetah has a weakness, but it has a strength. It works on what? Strength or weakness? Forget about the negative emotions that you have. You have anger, you have jealousy, you have, irritations, you have this, you have. I said, don't worry about it. Let it be there. Who bothers about it? Take a positive one, draw a bigger line. In the presence of that, this goes insignificant. That's how you deal with emotions. So start building your emotions that you want to, which means expression of even your genuine emotions, selfless emotions, unselfish emotions needs to be under the governance of your discriminating intellect. The feeling part of it, providing that intensity to it, the repetition to it has to be done by the mind. So this fellow does his job, that fellow does his job. Your life will be good. If any one of them not doing their job, or this fellow does that job and that fellow does his job, will not work. Remember this. There's a better chance of your growth. The mind feels the emotion. Intellect decides the expression, manifestation of it. Without the guidance, the direction of intellect, never express your emotions, how much ever genuine that could be, how much ever positive it could be. Right? There you go.